Suhana Chand.
Hello, my name is Velansha.
Hello, my name is Nitika Satish.
Hello, my name is Sanvee.
Hello, Arizona. My name is Josue Romero. Welcome back to our Silicon Oasis Media. Today, we are super excited to have a local Arizona project called DRIPBL being featured on our media network. And I'm honestly just going to let these folks take it from here because I'm so excited to share what they're building and how passionate they are about it. Topo Advisors has powered growth for 100 plus startups through expert CFO, FP&A, and bookkeeping account services. All right, well, first to begin, thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. It is a Sunday today, so it's awesome to see how when people are really passionate about a project, doesn't matter what day of the week it is, they're going to come out and represent what they're building, why they're building it. Can you please share your name with everyone?
My name is Suhana Chand, and I'm a 10th grader at BASIS Peoria.
Suhana, what is going on today? I see you've got a video there. Please do share. What's going on?
So I'm here to share my project ArtiVision, which is a device for visually impaired individuals to help them lead a more independent life by giving them text-to-speech, facial recognition, and emotional recognition functionality.
That is awesome. How long have you been building that now?
I've been building it since 7th grade, and I've been trying to incorporate it into our community ever since.
Wow, that is amazing. I was playing the Wii when I was in 7th grade, so this is really cool to hear. Is there something specifically that inspired you to start charging towards this solution?
Well, my inspiration really came from my volunteering experience at a senior home when I found that seniors usually suffered with MSVI, moderate to severe visual impairment, and they weren't able to recognize their family members because of their visual impairment. And I found that it was a huge thing that needed some solution behind it, so that's where I found the solution for ArtiVision. ArtiVision is a device to allow these individuals to lead a better life.
Hi, I'm ArtiVision. I'm an assistive device for visually impaired individuals. I'm Suhana Chand.
All right, Arizona, excited to have here with me the next guest being featured today. Please share your name.
Sanvee.
And Sanvee, what are you building and why should the world care?
So I basically made the Magic Glove, which is basically a glove for assisted intuitive control for those who are diagnosed with alien hand syndrome. Now, alien hand syndrome is a syndrome where the person doesn't have control over their hand. So it's basically like a third party is using their hand. So say you were going to go to the grocery store and you were reaching for a carton of milk, your other hand would slap somebody. Now, I don't know about you, but that would be a major thing for me where I wouldn't be able to get out of my house. So this is basically allowing them to lead a normal life.
And how long have you been at this?
Well, I started it in 7th grade and I finished it in 8th, so 2 years now.
And as previously asked with another one of our guests, what is it that inspired that? Because I agree, if I went to the grocery store and randomly slapped someone, probably wouldn't have the best day.
Yeah, so basically it all started in 6th grade when my biology teacher actually gave me an extra credit assignment to research and find a rare syndrome or disease. And I came across alien hand syndrome, and it really intrigued me how it impacts the people's lives so much, yet not a lot was done just because of how rare it was, and I wanted to make a difference.
Absolutely love it. Thank you so much for sharing. And I believe you brought some materials here for us to see today. Can you talk a little bit about that?
This is basically just a demonstration of how I went about this project. I went through multiple prototypes, as you can see, and it took me some time to figure out which materials would work best. I ended up going with gloves and twine just because that's what worked best and was able to pull the fingers back. I used servo motors so that it was easier to control, and in the future I would like to add machine learning so that there wouldn't have to be manual use for the glove. So just like how you and me move differently, the alien hand and the person would move differently. So the machine learning would be able to detect that different movement and automatically be activated compared to how it currently is where the user has to manually press a button.
Love it, love it, love it. Okay, if there is one thing the world needs to know in one sentence about what you're building, what would that be?
Just how much this can help people who are diagnosed with alien hand syndrome. It provides the capability for them to lead normal lives, and that's what I want to spread.
I appreciate that you explained what alien hand syndrome was, because as soon as you said it helps with that, I had no idea what that was. So context was extremely helpful. Thank you so much for your time and for what you're building, honestly. All right, Arizona, I'm excited to present to you the next project being featured. Please share your name.
Hi, my name is Nithika Satish.
Nithika, what are you building? Why should people care?
I'm creating a device for inflammatory bowel diseases like ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. And the reason why is because over the past years, the disease itself has spread so rapidly, yet there's no actual diagnosis. And most of the diagnoses are very invasive, such as colonoscopies. So I'm making a not invasive way that's using artificial sweat.
And right now, what is the most common non-invasive way? And why is what you're building a game changer for those who are seeking solutions like this?
Right now, there aren't that many there's not that many non-invasive. Oh my God, sorry. There's not that many invasive ways to fix it.
Did you want to rerun it?
Yeah.
However you feel. Cool. Where did you want to be? We can take it from. What are you? No, because you did a good job on that. I'll just ask why. What are the most common non-invasive ways currently? And then I'll let you take it from there. That way you don't have to answer this. Brilliant. So what are the most common non-invasive ways currently? I'm not aware that there were honestly any either or, because it's not my field of specialty, but I would love to learn a little more from you.
While there aren't that many non-invasive ways, the main protocol in like the healthcare right now is invasive ways through blood work and colonoscopies. And while these do effectively work, they are very there's many long-term side effects that can occur. So that's why there's the need for non-invasive ways to be worked.
Gotcha. And what's got you most excited about this project that you're building and solution?
I would say it's probably because inflammatory bowel diseases, they're not really studied commonly. So there aren't that many solutions. So I'm really excited to find a way that helps so many people.
And I know you mentioned earlier at the beginning of this interview that the reason you started was because non-invasive solutions weren't that common, and it's been progressing that way and it hasn't changed. What got you started to begin with?
So my family actually does suffer, some of my family members, they suffer with inflammatory bowel diseases. And this past year, my sister actually got admitted to the ER for it. And I was physically, I saw how it was very complicated to actually diagnose her. And so I wanted to find a way for early detection, because it was so crucially important to find it out quickly before anything else goes wrong in the diagnosis.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time. And if there's just one thing the world needs to know about what you're building in a sentence, what would that be?
I think my project will really help a lot of people in a good way.
Well, I love the attitude and energy behind it. Thanks so much for your time. All right, Arizona. And last but definitely not least, excited to hear the final solution being presented today. Please share your name and what you're building.
Hi, my name is Velansha, and I came across this idea because lots of teens are using their phones a lot now, and approximately teenagers use around 7 to 9 hours of screen time per day. So I'm creating an application by using brainwave data based on external pre-stimuli to see how that affects memory retention.
Gotcha. And does that project have a name already?
Nope, not yet, but still looking for it, but that's the plan.
Awesome. So I know that seems to be an obviously extremely growing problem, right? Is that something that you suffered from personally? What is it that got you started into building the solution?
So what got me started is I could see that, I could just tell my memory was kind of falling down the gutter, because when I saw that I couldn't even remember where I placed my phone 5 minutes prior, I felt like, ooh, that should not be happening at this age. So I really wanted to see what's the issue and how can we improve this so that it doesn't happen to other teenagers.
I love the solution behind this, specifically because, with AI, yes, it's supercharging people, yes, it's helping people out, but a lot of studies have recently shown that people have just straight up stopped thinking because AI exists. Do you think that's something your solution will be able to help with, from the youngest group to the oldest demographic, or how do you foresee that playing into a current AI world?
So far my data is just specifically focused around teenagers, but one way to improve and expand this project is to create an algorithm to find all different types of data, from even young people to old age people, So I feel like this project can really be useful when put into the hands of AI to figure out how memory retention can be improved.
And how long have you been building this now?
This is the first year. I mean, I came up with the idea this year, so this is the trial run, and this is what I'm building.
No, absolutely love it. And if there is one thing the world should know about it, in a sentence, what would that be?
So I believe that my project is an upcoming use of how AI should be used to improve ourselves and improve how can we retain things faster.
Sounds great. I wish you the best of luck because that sounds useful to me already, even though not a teenager, but would love to try it out someday and excited to do so.
Rachna,
I'm so excited to hear from you now because you're in charge of it all. Tell me what's going on with DRIPBL. Like, it sounds like an awesome program.
Well, thank you so much for inviting us over here. And it's a pleasure from what I have seen dealing with these kids in the first place. So DRIPBL is actually a program that has an acronym. So it stands for Dream, Research, Innovate, Problem or Project-Based Learning. It started off when I got invited to a nomination for the Presidential Award, and the application asked me, what's the name of your program? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I have never thought about that. But DRIPBL came up as a result of that. And since then, I have been helping students come up with their passion projects. And through the passion projects, understanding what is a real problem that they can solve using their passion. So that's what DRIPBL is all about. And I've been doing this for the last 7 years with incredible students with incredible results.
That is so awesome. Congratulations, by the way. I didn't even finish my sentence there. That is so awesome to hear. How do you help them identify a problem to work on? Because I think is one of the hardest things when trying to build a tech startup or any type of tech solution.
So I never started this as a startup, right? It was a component of the classes that I used to teach. So finding a problem was triggered by prompts. So I would give them a prompt. For example, okay, so you have a blood-brain barrier in your brain, you know that. There are no drugs that can cross the blood-brain barrier. So how would you modify the blood-brain barrier for a pharmaceutical chemical to move in? That would get them thinking and do research on that. Once they have that ability to research, then they can do anything. And I always start with, tell me what you want to do. And some of them will say, I want to cure cancer. I'm like, okay, let's dig deeper. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So, and we also, I mean, given their age, they cannot do a lot of projects that are those kind of projects unless they're in a professional lab. But then there are model organisms which they can test on, like C. elegans and Drosophila and zebrafish, which does not require as much compliance as they would require in a higher lab, right, lab setting. So I would start with that, but giving them that opportunity that, you know, think what you really want to do, but do it in a smaller scale and build it in blocks. That's what that is. And for each block, I am there to support them with resources. I have students who have done this for over 4 or 5 years now. I have mentors who are typically their parents, other engineers, other friends that I know who are subject matter experts who would come and help them as well. So the basic structure is I'll give them that support of what do you know, how do you do it, what are the resources, and then we bring in the subject matter experts.
That's amazing. And one of the things that I really liked about all of these students that presented was it's proof, better said, that age does matter, but it kind of doesn't. They all seemed very excited, very happy, very convinced, and above all, driven. Because their family suffered it, they suffered it. Whatever solution they were building, they were convinced that they were the ones to solve it. And that's great. We need like goosebumps. But they should be convinced that they're the ones that can, because I've always thought, right, if not me, then who? And obviously it takes a village. So it's never going to be a singular person, but every singular person needs to believe that they have the ability and capacity. And I love that you're helping them understand that. Rachna, thank you so much for your time and for coming today on a Sunday. Appreciate it. Thank you.